Two of the key concepts in progressing with your ultimate sandbag training is changing placement of the ultimate sandbag and your body position as well. Next exercise is going to represent both, so it's a higher level exercise. So what Jessica's going to do is she's going to shoulder the ultimate sandbag to one side. Once upon the shoulder, she's going to assume a staggered stance, which means one foot slightly in front of the other. So still take your squat stance, just simply slide one foot so the back toes are in line with her front heel. With the back heel off the ground, she's going to slowly descend into a deep squat. Nice. Now, depending upon which foot you have forward, if she has a bag on the front side of the lead leg, that is more difficult than having the bag on the opposing side of the back leg, so that when you are progressing, you can change which shoulder you have it on if you're trying to work through different size ultimate sandbags. With a bigger ultimate sandbag, you have more weight draping upon you, making the exercise more difficult to stabilize. To make an exercise more difficult, we can take some joints out of the equation. For example, in the clean and press, we can take you to a kneeling position, which is going to take out some of the lower leg components of the exercise. So just going to come down to a kneeling position. Now, in this kneeling position, you want to be careful. You should really pay attention to your alignment. You're going to grab onto the side cap handles if you're dealing with the power ultimate sandbag, or the neutral grip handles upon the larger ultimate sandbags. She's going to hinge back on her haunches, hold tension in her upper back. By pushing her hips upwards, she's going to bring the bag to her shoulders and then press overhead. Make sure to pull the weight back down, hinge back down. So you see how her hips are back, she's not leaning back, her torsos are tight, and her glutes are firing to keep her in position. This is a great way to really dial in to see if you're working through the low. One of our favorite exercises is shoveling. So shoveling is going to require pivoting and rotation within your movement. So it's going to be a more complex form of hip extension. So make sure you can grab onto your neutral grip handles. That's going to lock the upper back into place. Just going to slowly rotate and pivot to one side of her body. She's going to push off the inside hip, creating some momentum to the bag. She's not lifting the bag with her arms, rather than hinging back on her hips. See how the opposing hip always rotates to the opposing side, creating momentum, allowing her to accelerate and then decelerate. You don't want to allow over rotation of the bag or flexion in the arms. That's going to make the work through the wrong part of the body and possibly hurt yourself. This is a great drill if done correctly, and as long as you've progressed through the correct variations in our ultimate sandbag system. The ultimate sandbag training program allows us to do some really unique core exercises. Remember, your core is not just your abdominals, not even your low back, it's also your hips. So what we're going to do is combine a couple variables to get you full training in your core system. So what Jessica's going to do is she's going to come down to the ground. She's going to work with her power bag at first. She's going to bring the bag into the outside handles. She's going to go ahead and get arms straight above chest first. So she's going to stabilize, make sure the shoulders are in place. With her body weight pushing through her heels, she's going to bridge up and very slowly bring the bag overhead. When she does this, she's going to make sure not to arch in the low back and to pull with her lat. Bring her hips back down, elevate again, and pull over the head. You can make this more difficult by straightening one leg out onto the ground, or actually holding one leg off the ground completely, making this an anti-rotational drill as well, and a great challenge in your ultimate sandbag core development system. Nice. We'll do a one-legged grip row. Again, we're using a little bit lighter loads. We can change the body position and make her really work hard, because her heart rate's going to be elevated, so her challenge is going to be able to stabilize. So what she's going to do is actually grab onto the bag first, start nice and tall. She's going to hinge back in that single leg deadlift position, and she's going to slowly pull towards her body. So she's going to really work on pinching back the shoulder blades while maintaining that alignment. She's doing a great job. You can see the hip and the lower leg working. We're activating the grip, so we're getting a lot of work in the upper back as well. Nice job. Okay, ultimate sandbag training can also challenge any of your forward base exercises too, by working different planes of motion. So what Jessica's going to do is she's going to come down to her lying position. She's going to grab with a power bag the outside handles. With a bigger bag, you can grab the neutral grip handles. She's going to first get the bag extended over her chest. Legs are going to be set out. Now, the lower your legs are to the ground, the more difficult this exercise is. So we're going to start her a little bit more towards 90. Your goal is not to have the pelvis rotate forward or have your low back come off the ground. She's going to slowly make circles along her body. The smaller the circle, the easier it is. If you want to intensify the exercise, you make a bigger circle, but your goal is to engage the trunk, squeeze the glutes to make sure you don't rotate during the exercise. Nice, Jessica. You're going to make sure you go the equal parts each direction. So if you go 10 times one direction, you'll make sure you go 10 times the other direction, all without rotating or allowing the pelvis to come forward.